Hi, I'm China Brickey, and I play the Queen of Hearts in the Children's Theatre Company's production of Alice in Wonderland, coming up very soon.
Hi there, I'm Gianna from Family Fun Twin Cities, and this is the Let's Go Do Fun Stuff show. The Children's Theatre Company is pleased to welcome the Queen to its stage for the first time in over a decade. The Queen of Hearts, that is. And we had the privilege of meeting China A. Brickey to discuss her role as the Queen of Hearts in CTC's production of Alice in Wonderland.
So, where did you grow up?
Great question. I grew up in Chicago, Illinois. I grew up on the north side. And so a bit of a city girl, no stranger to city life.
How happy were you when you got this role?
I was so happy, and I'll tell you why. Because I was a PA here, and that's the reason that I moved here from Chicago. So I got to be a performance apprentice for a year and work with the company and work with Peter Brocious. And I know that this is Peter Brocious' last season, and so I hadn't worked here since before lockdown, and I was like, oh man, he's gonna go, and I'm not gonna be able to get one last children's theater experience. And this audition came up, and I was so excited. I had so many dumb ideas, which is exactly what Peter likes when you're doing something really out there and big. I was very excited. I really love it here, and I love a story where you can't be too big, and that is definitely this. So very excited.
It has the name Wonder in it. You can't really.
The limits are gone. You can't get bigger than Wonder. Yeah. That's a good.
How many Disney shows have you been in?
Disney shows. I think that maybe not a lot, actually. I think that Disney has they have such a wealth of really big stories. So it's a really big. I wasn't in Beauty and the Beast, which is Disney, but I had a lot of friends who were in it, and okay. I've got it now, Cinderella. So not this most recent one, but the one before, I got to be the fairy godmother, which is so fun because you're covered in a burlap thing, and then you spin it off, and you're in this big purple dress, and you've got a wand. Very cool. I would love to do more Disney stuff because it's just magic on magic on magic, and that's limitless, which I like.
Yeah. How many shows have you been in? Not necessarily here, but
total.
If you did stuff in Chicago or stuff like that.
Oh well, it's been a lot. So I am very, very lucky that I have been able to do maybe 3 to 4 shows a year since I graduated college. So let's go ahead and say 9 times 4. So for in my adult life, that's
36.
So that is actually a lot. So since I've been here, I've probably done near that, and then that doesn't count things that I did in college. And I think my first play was a musical. It was The Pied Piper, and I played the Pied Piper. It's the little guy with the flute who makes the animals follow him around,
like snakes and stuff, dance and everything.
Maybe, I don't know. I can't remember really. I was in 2nd grade.
Oh.
And my brother played the mayor, and that was great. Yeah, I did I did one there. I did do Beauty and the Beast in middle school.
So there's a Disney.
There's another Disney, yeah. And then High School Musical is Disney. I did that in high school. Those I was not paid for because I was still learning and a minor. But lots and lots and lots and lots. At this point, now that I'm thinking about it, if I've done 36 since being here, probably done about 50 of them. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I like it. And so that helps.
Yeah.
With doing a lot of them.
How excited are you to say "off with their head"?
I say it so much, and I am so excited. And the cool thing is so when you're an actor, they say whenever you have to repeat a line, you have to say it different every single time. Otherwise, it gets boring. So, most of my job for this show is finding interesting ways to say "off with their head." So there are some times that I'll go "off with their head," or I'll go "off with it." It'll be all different. as many different things as I can come up with, and I'm sure that I will come with a lot more even over the next week. I mean, that's why I like theater so much, is that it's like being a student all the time. You learn new stories. It's very philosophy forward. It's all studying like humanity and why we do what we do. And then you have to like learn about like the things that people are experiencing, or if you're doing a job that you don't actually do in real life, which I don't do any of them because I'm an actor, except actor, I guess. Wow, it is. I've been in tech. My brain is squishy. But yeah, so you end up studying everything. It's being an actor is being a student, and I like that.
And I bet you learn a lot of empathy.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You cannot, if that's like square one, you have to say, like, especially with a character that is, done all the time, you're seeing like a lot of different people's interpretations. So you're like, what of me is in this character, and what in this character is in me? What is not? How are we different? How are we similar? How can I like make what is true for her feel true through me? Touch that, whoops. But specifically, especially when you're playing a villain, it's really hard because I think that this is something that I'm really excited about with this character, is that a lot of people who are really angry and really like hurt hurt people. But you have to go to that place and say, why would I be so upset about this really like friendly girl coming to my kingdom? And so I've done a lot of thinking about like the Queen of Hearts is the complete opposite of Alice. Like Alice meets problems with curiosity and with ease. She walks in and is herself. She doesn't put anything on. She's just like, oh, that was not what I expected. I wonder what I'll do now. Versus the Queen of Hearts, which is like, not expected, cut its head off. This is not expected. Don't do that. Don't move. You moved, and I expected you to be somewhere else. Put it back. And I think that it's very intimidating, especially, I think that's something that's really important about the children's theater. For adults, there are lots of times when adults are unnerved by children, or even just younger adults maybe having a skill that they don't have. And that is that rings very true, I think, in our world. And so her seeing like this child with so much ease, there's like jealousy and anger, and then the unpredictability of someone whose brain works like differently than hers. And I think that's a lot of times people who are really angry, what they really want is ease. So seeing ease in someone else can just set them off.
Yeah.
But for that reason, it's like exhausting and a little sad. And you're like, oh my gosh, there are some really tired people out there who are really angry, who like maybe even just like chilling out a little bit and being like, like getting a little bit of Alice in them, a little bit of curiosity might have a better go of it, better time of it, more fun. Yeah.
That's a really philosophical way of looking at it, actually.
I'm telling you, my entire job, 50 shows. I don't know, maybe.
Okay, so let's get a little practical.
Yeah.
Being the Queen of Hearts is not just your voice. You have to like encompass all of her. So is there something that you do that is a Queen of Hearts thing? Like how do you carry yourself, or how do you present yourself, or how do you speak even? It sounded like you speak very operatic.
This is the answer to this is quite a lot as well, because one of the things that Peter really likes about this story is that things will be one way and then immediately they'll be the opposite way. So I kind of have a few different, one of the things I use to help myself is give myself a few different physicalities. So like I have like one part of her is very like confident, flirty, like coquettish. She like is sometimes like here, like she's talking to her friends because she's like, I'm so comfortable. And then sometimes it's very like tense, like now I'm very, very mad. I'm like, no, but I don't really care. But actually I really care a lot. So basically everything I have. And I think because I'm trying to make her inner life like outside and very, very clear, all of the physicalities. So there's the really like I'm chill. There's the really really tense. There's the very proper. She's been born into royalty, and there will be those moments. There's a fourth one. I think I imagine her like teetering into these different parts of herself. But yes, so sometimes she's very operatic and she goes, oh, for the head! Or it'll be, for the head! To like show that she's like starting to lose her stuff. And sometimes she's very like this. But sometimes when she's starting to get really, she doesn't want anyone to know that she's nervous, but she's like, I don't know what to do with you. What are you? You're not wearing the right colors. Like all of this stuff. So physically quite demanding, but I think that that's really where I try to start is like, what is she most concerned about? Is she most concerned about like thinking about what to do? Is she concerned about overpowering Alice? So it'll be more of a lean and more of like loudness, or is she concerned with telling her kingdom that does not care and, making them laugh because then she knows what's going to happen? I think everything she does is for a reaction. And when she's most uncomfortable is when she doesn't know what reaction is going to come. So that's when she starts to go like this. So there's right away, she comes in, like enters, and something goes wrong, and her whole self changes, and you can see that. Who's been painting my roses? But yeah, so a lot of different things.
I'm seeing myself a lot more in the Queen of Hearts than I thought I ever would.
Oh, good! Oh, this is my goal.
Wait, that's me. That's me too. That's me.
Also, it's me. So it's okay. So I pull this information from,
deep within.
Which is, yeah. But I think that's important to know that we all have the potential for when we're not comfortable, we behave in a certain way.
Yeah.
Which is human. It's human.
It is human. How many kids are in the show? There's Alice. She's a young actor.
And we have two Alices. We have two white rabbits who, actually we have a white rabbit and a white rabbit understudy who is also in the show. We have a lot of kids in the show.
Is there a lot of kids?
I'd say I'm going to guess 10 because that is something that I can't exactly recall. Maybe 6 girls, 6 guys, and we have a couple young people who are covering understudies, and so they're sitting in the room for whenever someone's like, I'm still at school, can you go in? And so they just hop in. And I'm telling you, the kids in this show are insane. Not only are they so much fun to watch, but they're this is why I love this show so much. They're all having to be their own little Alices, especially those understudies who jump in and are like, what now? Who goes where? I'm going to dance this way. I absolutely know what's happening. And I'm like, the skills that I wish that I had at that age, it's incredible. And they're also funny and so nice and friendly and playful. But yeah, so it's I think there are definitely more kids than there are adults, which is always nice because they get to set the tone, which just has to be don't take yourself that seriously, which sometimes adults, when we get into our work, we're like, all right, I have to do this here. And I'm like, okay, I've got 10 minutes for this here. Now I have to go over here.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really nice environment to be in.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. And it's, well, it makes sense because it's for kids. So why not invite lots of kids?
Yes. And if the goal of theater, which I think it is to connect, is to show people truths about themselves. I think it's really important to see people like you on stage. And I think that children are asked every day to connect with adults, to understand the way adults think, to go to school and think about being an adult. And it's important to see yourself and know that you are worth, that your world is interesting, that your world is complex. And that's another thing I love about the children's theater, is that Peter really puts an emphasis on young people are young people. So the vast world of emotion and experience that adults feel they have, a lot of times adults don't think that about kids. They think, oh, well, this is very easy for them. Oh, this is just they only have 2 things to think about. But it is exactly as complicated as it's ever been. The lessons are different, but the stakes are as high. And to have kids embody that, there's no better way to make that
That's
clear.
true.
So the frog and fish footmen you'll see are 2 kids, and they have a really amazing little scene that's all comedy and like doors and like getting hit in the face and like, well, you, blah, 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 blah. So it's very similar to the Tweedledee Tweedledum. Have you seen any of the pictures from the old version?
Just a very few.
I'm just going to tell you, the Tweedledee Tweedledum scene, I saw it for the first time and I was like, that is the silliest thing I have ever seen. And they are the 2 PAs, which is really cool because I get to be like, hey, I used to be one of you. But it is so funny. The thing about this show is that there is never a dull moment. There is never something that you're seeing, what is that? This is something new. There's puppets. The costumes are so weird and over the top. Like it's eye candy constantly, and it's, cool thing is I get to watch it all day and laugh, and I cannot wait for y'all to see it. So this is Peter Brochus' second to last show. Okay. He's got one more after Frog and Toad.
Oh yeah, Frog and Toad,
which I've never seen before, so I'm very excited to see it before he's moving on to other things.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's really cool to be here for get to experience it one more time.
Well, we're really excited for it. And I'm
so
really glad that we got to talk to you.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much, China, for meeting with us. We had a great time. Family Fun Twin Cities provides a weekend family fun guide that divides into regions of the metro. We also have a highly curated calendar of the family fun you can find on any specific day. We have all the links available in the show notes if you are listening to the podcast, or in the description box if you are watching on YouTube. And now it's time to highlight our weekend top 3. This weekend, you can enjoy some of the first maple syruping events. Sunday, March 3rd at noon, Fort Snelling is hosting their annual Maple Syruping in Your Backyard event. Learn what you need to be able to do it at home and enjoy a taste right there. Make sure you register by noon on Saturday. This is a free event except for the vehicle sticker to enter the state park. Snapology of Minneapolis, located in the heart of Uptown, is loaded with hands-on building, exploration, experimentation, and learning that is fun and intuitive. Kids ages 3 to 14 will find birthday parties, classes, camps, field trips, creative play sessions, and workshops all year long. March is Women's History Month, and in honor of Women's History Month, you can bring some older kids to Silent Sky at Theater in the Round. Older kids equals 10-year-olds or up. This show is based on the true story of astronomer Henrietta Lyot. The description on the website says, there is music and math bursting forth on stage. So my guess is there's a little something for everyone. And now it's your turn to go do fun stuff.